Welcome back to this part of the episode. Thanks for listening to the Gunpowder, Propane, and Jesus podcast. Let's light it up.
And today, sitting here with y'all right now, my towel would just be like just a towel hanging there.
Yeah.
Now that can switch just like that.
Quick.
I could leave here and something happened in life and my towel tightens up.
Yeah.
And my insides tighten up, but I got tools and, I know what to do and sometimes I can be stubborn and say, no, I'm going to hang on to this for a little while. And I'm just going to let this towel stay tight.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to pray and I'm not going to ask, I'm not going to ask God for help because you know what? It might work. It might help. I want to be mad.
Hardest part of that is realizing that you're powerless and that you have unmanageability, man. That's the toughest thing for a guy to do. Is admit not having power, because we're supposed to be powerful, man. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's rough, man. It really is. What was your biggest character defect that you had to overcome? And you're probably still working on it, because I know you don't stop.
Just selfishness, man.
Yeah.
Selfishness, doing what pleases me, doing what I want to do. I mean, I have to work on that. I've always said, that I'm a very, very selfish person. So that's, I got so many character defects that I work on every day. And, but that's one of the things that I love about having a relationship with God is, I used to think that I had to have these structured prayers and it had to sound like it came from the pulpit if I had a conversation with God. But Linwood taught me, man, talk to God like we're all talking.
Yeah.
And that's how I talk to God.
So let me ask you this, and I guess kind of say something at the same time. In selfishness, you said is what got you there, but at the same time, you're completely opposite of selfish. So to get in the other part of your story, you said, you got to have God, you got to clean out your closet, and you got to help somebody else. Right. So let's feed into helping somebody else, because there's a lot you do. There's been a gentleman here, Nash. He's told his story.
Yeah.
Somebody else I went through the academy with, Jimmy.
Yep.
So many people that you have helped that I know of. And then beyond that, so kind of get into the unselfish part of Patrick, of how you help and give back. And
yeah, no, absolutely. And so, again, it's important, because this is what I've learned, because if I had not learned this in recovery and knew how important it was in my recovery, I would be that guy that Patrick's got stuff going on.
Yeah.
And I love, this person and that person, but there's people out there to help them.
Right.
But now I know how important it is. Just like the Patrick that grew up would have never shared and been so vulnerable to share these things that I'm sharing today. But I know not only is it important that there might be a listener out there that needs to hear this, but it's also important that I play that videotape and I don't ever forget it too, because I don't ever want to go back there.
Yeah.
So, that's one of the things that I have to do to make sure that I'm not selfish, is step outside of myself and help others. It gets me outside of myself too. Sometimes when I'm wrapped up in self, the best thing to do is do something for somebody else. And it doesn't have to be something as big as going to help somebody that's struggling with addiction. It can be, something as simple as, you need help with something that you can't get done, at the house, or, and I run over to your house to help you. Or Linwood pointed this out to me. God rest his soul. He gave me so many great pieces of advice. He said, Patrick, he said, when you go to, say, Home Depot and you park your truck, if you're walking in the Home Depot and there's a big gulp cup laying in the parking lot,
pick it up. Yeah.
He said, pick it up, walk it up to the trash can. Every store's got a trash can at the front of the store. Drop it in the trash can. And I was like, okay. And he said, let me ask you this. Be honest with me, Patrick. What would you normally do or think before we're having this conversation? I said, I would think, first of all, I didn't throw the big gulp cup down, and I'm not going to pick up after some slob, number one. And number two, they're paying somebody at Home Depot to pick it up. But see, that's my thinking, man.
Yeah.
And Linwood said, you can't think like that anymore. Pick the cup up, throw it away. If you walk past a buggy that's out of the corral, put it in the corral, or better yet, push it back in the store.
You're going there anyway.
Right. He said, no, I'm not telling you to zigzag through the whole parking lot and clean up their parking lot. He said, but if you pass it, just do it. And it's little simple things like that I do.
Simple thought changes that, out of the norm. Yeah.
Yeah. And so those are things that I would have never done if I hadn't learned that, in recovery. And so, so when I got back, and I got back from after completing the program at the Hickey House, I was really contemplating getting back in law enforcement. And so I decided that if I was going to do it, that I would get back in at Richmond County. I'd left Columbia County on good terms, but if I was going to start over, I wanted to start over somewhere fresh, a clean slate, somewhere I hadn't been before. And so I put in at Richmond County and went to work there, had a great time working there. And one of the things that happened there was they knew about my story because I was honest when I got hired, because there was a lapse in time that I had not worked to, and I had to explain, why I went from working with the Columbia County Sheriff's Office to First Union Bank, and then next thing I'm working on a farm in Helen, Georgia.
Right.
And I explained all that, and so they knew everything about it. And about 2 years sober working at Richmond County, they asked me if I would be willing to share my story with the cadets at the academy. And I was like, yeah. I was already sharing my story, at different groups that I attended and stuff like that. And
so let me ask you this. Was that Colonel Nash, was that still during that time, or he had already retired, or?
No. So this was, because I say at the academy, this was actually at in-service. It was David James and all them. Okay. Yeah, I misspoke.
The reason I asked that, Aaron's father-in-law was, Bill Taylor.
Right.
Who taught at the academy
That's
for years.
Exactly right. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, and by the way, he's in that picture too that I sent you.
I saw him.
Yeah, I saw him. And so I spoke and shared my story, and it was the first time that I'd done it with my peers. I'd always shared my story amongst other people in recovery. But man, it felt good. I was giving back to, my career because, most people don't know this. Bruce knows this. The number one killer of cops is cops.
Yeah.
You got a 3 to 4 time greater chance of dying by your own hand as a law enforcement officer than by dying in the streets.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah. So it felt good to be able to help. And, it was an unknown when I asked for help. I'd never seen anybody else in the department do it and salvage their career. And so since I had been able to do it, I wanted to lead by example and show people that I'd done it. So that really got me into that part of helping law enforcement officers. And so I want to touch on the things that have really, because you heard the bad things. What's crazy during my drinking, what's crazy for me to think is I drank from 13 to 33.
Ooh.
That was 20 years of drinking. Okay. I've been sober now 22 years. So I've been sober longer than I drank now.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And so, that's one of those things.
That's awesome.
And so I say that because there's so much more good that's happened as a result of being in recovery than bad that happened.
Yeah.
I got my job back, but hey, the most important thing that I got back was my relationship with God.
Yeah.
And then my wife, Sandra, Sandra and I had been dating during my active alcoholism. She stuck with me during the whole time that I was gone, as much as I tried to push her away and tell her, I'm a loser, you need to run. She stuck with me. She made sure when I was off that she would see my boys, and she'd go to all of Chase's football games while I was gone. And
now, is Sandra the supermodel you're married to currently?
Absolutely,
man. That lady is beautiful. Good
Thank
Lord,
you,
she's sweet.
I do agree.
Yes,
I agree.
She is I don't know. You hit the lotto with that one.
I definitely did.
That old bulldog face of yours, man, Sandra. Sandra.
We run into them at Lowe's a month or two back, and me and my wife are sitting there talking to Sandra, and you can hear Patrick an aisle or two over. Who are you talking to over there now?
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, I love seeing her at the market, man. She's just the sweetest lady, and y'all are always just kind. You know what I mean? And you exude what Jesus would want.
Well, I appreciate that.
I mean, it just leaps and bounds, and what I like is you're not pushy, but you just show that you are a light to the world, and you are trying to broadcast His light, and it's beautiful to me. But
thank you.
Sorry, I just wanted to shout out Miss Sandra.
Yeah,
hey, if you get tired of Patrick and I'm not married anymore,
and he makes good grits,
and I got Ozempic too, so I'm losing weight.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, she's been by my side through thick or thin. I mean, looking back on it, like the days, here I am in a halfway house, and Chase is living with my mom, and she's driving over to North Augusta to go to his ball games and stuff like that. Things that I couldn't be there for, she made sure that she was there for. And so we ended up getting married in sobriety, and of all places that we chose to go get married was Las Vegas.
Oh no.
Because
Sin City, remember?
That's right.
What happens in Vegas stays
that's
there
right.
Too? Yeah.
But Tom Hickey had told me, he said, Patrick, because I remember I told Tom, I said, man, I'm just worried, I won't be able to do this. I won't be able to do this when I'm, sober. And he said, you can do anything you want. You can play golf. You can go fishing. You can do all that. Man, I've done all that, and I enjoy it so much more.
Yeah.
I've actually been to AA conferences in Las Vegas. AA meetings there. I mean, it's
crazy. You put a quarter in one of the machines, and they're up there. Like the ladies are offering you all kinds of liquor and drinks and all that. Yeah, that's a good test of character and sobriety right there.
And I drink coffee. If I sit at a slot machine, I'll drink coffee. And I'd say this, I've been to Vegas quite a few times since then in sobriety, and because Sandra and I like to go out there and see shows, and she likes to shop, and we go to we're going in February to a big convention.
Yeah.
For the hat
screen
business.
Print and awesome.
Right. And I've never been in a nightclub or a bar in Las Vegas. Never. And I've been there multiple times because I don't belong in a nightclub or bar. Not that I think that, oh my gosh, I'll start shaking and say, well, I want to drink, but I just don't belong in one.
Yeah.
Being in the casino, walking around the casino around alcohol is no different than me going to, Longhorn Steakhouse and, being around that.
You got to walk by the bar to get to your seat.
Exactly. Yeah. That doesn't bother me by any means. I just don't belong in a bar.
Yeah.
And so, and besides that, going back to Linwood told me one time too, he's always telling me all this great wisdom. He said, if you hang out in the barbershop long enough, eventually you'll get a haircut.
Oh, yeah.
And I believe that. If I hang out in the bar long enough, the lights are low and the flashing, disco light and, the smoke-filled room, eventually I'm going to say, oh, one Jack and Coke won't hurt,
Is that why you gave up being a Chippendales dancer?
That is why. Now they know the secret. That's right.
Santa Claus coming to the stage.
Well, actually, the reason I gave it up was the time that I got arrested for wearing my G-string backwards.
Oh,
you
man.
asked. So
we will not edit that.
So, going back. So she stood by me through thick and thin. We got married, and, Sandra has 2 children, Jay and Brittany, and we don't have steps in our family. It's a blended family.
Yeah.
Those are my 4 children, and same thing with her. And, the 4 kids, they all, this is not my stepbrother or my stepsister. It's my brother. This is my sister. I mean, it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
It is a beautiful thing. And we've got a great marriage. Sometimes, we could probably make multi-million dollars if you saw the camera behind scenes, behind closed doors when we're about ready to kill each other.
Reality TV
that
show,
reality TV, But y'all don't see that in public, and we'll never put that on Facebook. We're only going to show you the beautiful, loving couple we are.
Yes.
But no, just like any couple, but I owe so much to her and my children. They have supported me along the way. Early on in sobriety, I needed to go to meetings a lot. Sometimes that meant 2 to 3 times a day because I knew that's what I needed.
Yeah.
And never got any backlash. They understood it. They knew that my sobriety came first and that without my sobriety, nothing else in the family, would happen.
Yeah.
And so anyway, I've gotten all those rewards of, just having relationships that I never would have imagined. I am proud to say that with 22 and a half years of sobriety, I'm not saying that my mom has not had a sleepless night, but it hasn't been because of me for the past 22 and a half years.
That's awesome.
Because I gave her a lot of sleepless nights. And
so I'm sorry, I got us off track. I'm the best at it. So go back to you got to give your sobriety testimony to peers and this group of cadets. What else happened after that? How did that transition into what you do now?
So that happened about 2 years into my sobriety. Mm-hmm. And then I had been involved in a shooting, and Richmond County had asked me to go to this seminar called the Post-Critical Incident Seminar, and about my shooting, just to make sure that I was okay with everything. And I went to this seminar, and I was in the seminar with men and women, all the men and women from Sandy Hook, from the Virginia Tech shooting, and Columbine. And I mean, I was in, some high profile shootings and stuff like that. And so I was there, and a guy came in that was a South Carolina trooper. And at the time he had about, the same amount of sobriety that I have now. And I had 10 years sobriety at the time when I went to this seminar. And I remember him sharing this story and this, that, and the other. And I thought, man, how cool is it that, he gets to share his story, with people from all over the country and this, that, and the other. And so I shared, because we all would talk about our stuff and what we've done, to in our recovery because of our recovery with our traumatic events, not necessarily addiction. And so I added in there about the part about me also, being a recovering alcoholic. Well, little did I know, there was some people in there from South Carolina and Columbia that were about to have a post-critical incident seminar. And this was like 3 months later, the trooper from South Carolina woke up and he was violently ill. According to what I heard of the story, he was fine when he went to bed. He woke up and he was violently ill and couldn't get out of bed. He was that sick. And he was supposed to share his testimony with everybody at the South Carolina post-critical incident seminar that day, like at 1 o'clock or something. So my phone rings from the people from South Carolina. And actually it was Andy Carrier that was there with the Georgia State Patrol here. Yeah. And he said, they asked him, can you call Patrick and see if he can do it? I'm sorry, I'm getting discombobulated. Anyway, so he did. And he said, hey man, can you come do this? And of course I said immediately yes. But then after I hung up, I was like, what did I just get myself into? I'd just done it like at my little local level. Now I'm going to be on a platform with cops from all over the place and this, that, and the other. And so I drove up there, nervous as I could be, and I did it on that type platform. And I felt so good, man. I mean, I just felt like, man, this is really what it's about giving it away, you know, and passing it on. Well, fast forward, there was a lady in there from Texas, from the Law Enforcement Management Institute of Texas. She heard me and she invited me later. She reached out to me and asked me to come to Texas and share at the Law Enforcement Management Institute of Texas at their PCIS. And it just says snowball from there. I've spoke all over the country, and Here's the thing about it. I told you this when we were on the phone the other day, John. Mm-hmm. Whenever I talk, just like today, I have no plan of what I'm going to say. Even if I get on a stage, whether it be, if I'm going to talk in front of a half dozen people or 600 people, I never plan what I'm going to say. I say a prayer to God and say, whatever needs to be said today, give it to me.
Yeah.
And that's what's going to be said, because I've had people say, well, Patrick, you didn't share this part of your story. Why didn't you share that part of your story? Well, I guess it didn't need to be heard today.
Yeah.
So I'm a firm believer in that. But yeah, so things are good. I mean, but life throws you life on a, on a daily basis. And, it's tough sometimes.
Yeah.
But I know that nothing good will come out of it if I drink.
Yeah.
I've talked to Aaron in the past, and I've told him, I said, man, I've had some tough times, man, and I'll isolate. One of the things that I do, too, even in sobriety, if I start getting hammered, I go down in a hole.
Yeah.
And it's like I go in a hole to recoup and kind of just like get my stuff together. I just want to get away from the world. But when I do that, too, I know that it's not an option to drink, man. I still got to do what I got to do to make sure that I don't drink, because if I take that first disastrous drink, it's over.
Yeah.
I will burn down everything around me.
Yeah.
So, but man, I'm telling you, I love y'all. I appreciate, all, y'all being in my life. Like I said, Bruce has been in my life all my life, just about. And, but the rest of y'all that have been brought into my life, I know that, God brought everybody into my life, and I like to surround myself by men like y'all.
Yeah.
Because that makes me better too. If I surround myself by guys hanging out in the bar, eventually that's what I'm going to become. I want to, surround myself by men that are trying to do the next right thing every day, and hope that some of that oozes off onto me. Which it does.
Yeah.
It definitely does. So thank y'all for what y'all are doing too. Now, when y'all start having about a 10 o'clock
a mid-morning
brunch, you'll see a lot more of me.
Steak and lobster tails is what you're asking
yes,
for?
Yes. I'm still fine with the grits.
We could do shrimp and grits.
It's just the time.
Yeah, man. I don't know how you guys do it.
Well, I thought you'd be up early with the elves making toys for Christmas, man.
That's what he's got the elves for, so we can sleep late.
Gotcha.
We stay up late. We stay up late in the middle of the night doing that.
Supermodel Sandra, you were snuggling with her, huh?
Yeah.
Trying to keep warm. Oh,
That's
man.
Right. That's right.
So you were talking about blended family. You don't call steps anymore. Now I know two of them, right?
Yep.
So I know Chase.
Yep.
And Brittany. So Brittany's a very well-established drummer.
Yep.
And then Chase is still with GSP?
No, so he's left GSP.
Okay.
So Chase, he followed in my footsteps and my dad's footsteps and got in law enforcement, was a Richmond County deputy, and then went to Georgia State Patrol. And
GSP, shout out.
Yep, GSP.
Those guys, they mean business. I love watching their pit maneuvers, man. Good Lord.
They call them, you know what GSP stands for, don't you? God's Special Police.
What's that?
GSP. You just said the pit maneuvers.
Oh,
I mean, look.
I was like, huh?
That's not
the bad boys of the bad boys.
Oh,
right.
I gotcha.
When all else fails, they say send GSP.
Yeah. Oh, really? Ooh.
They were about to send them to Gaza.
They need to. They should have.
Hey, you cut me off.
So he mentioned
pit maneuver, boy.
He mentioned Andy Carrier, called him Andy's big old swole boy.
Yeah.
He done, GSP, they have different things. A weightlifting thing. He went, New York, New Jersey or whatever several years ago and won that thing.
He went to Switzerland, like the International Police Olympics.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. I mean,
yeah.
For GS, he had a BMW there for a while through GSP.
Yeah, and he had back in the Mustang days, had one of those small LX 5.0s.
I just seen a new Georgia State Patrol Mustang yesterday.
Oh, did you?
It's nice.
Oh, man.
Andy's big old boy. They had to move the front seat to the back.
Right. That's exactly right.
Oh, so your daughter's a drummer?
Yeah.
A big-time drummer? Who's she drum for?
So she was a drummer for a band called Vera.
Okay.
And they traveled all over the world. They I mean, she's been in almost every country there is, been in every state that there is. I mean, she's open for people like Iron Maiden in Australia.
Rock on.
Yeah. And she's an amazing drummer. Look her up. Brittany Harrell Drums.
Okay.
Brittany Harrell.
And then how do people get a hold of you if they want to get you to come talk for them?
So here's the thing about it. Today, I don't have anybody shaking me down, so I don't mind sharing my cell phone number. Because I'm not hiding from anybody.
Oh, I mean, I would probably just say, like, Facebook wise, that's probably the easiest. But I mean, if you want to, you can. But I don't want to hear. I don't want to.
Look me up on Facebook, Patrick Cullinan. I think I'd been watching Yellowstone because I had my cowboy hat profile picture on. That was actually taken before Yellowstone, but
and then Georgia Hat Company,
Georgia Hat Company. So that's a venture that Sandra and I started back in 2022, and it all started as making hats for me and friends in recovery. Rule 62 hats, and Rule 62 means don't take yourself too damn seriously.
I remember. First time I met you was at the market, and like I said, you just exude a light. You and Sharon, y'all, or Sandra. Sorry.
Yeah, but he don't get nobody's name right.
Sorry. You and Sandra just exude a light. And I think I had promised you, like, I want to do a logo for you for Georgia Hat Co. And I still haven't done it. Aaron looking at me.
I understand.
I'm like, you don't do nothing, boy.
John, don't do anything.
Oh, man.
I get it. That's why we get along so good, John.
Yeah, our brains just work differently, man. Yeah.
Well, see, I have the excuse when people say, Patrick, did you forget that? Or I said, dude, my brain is pickled. I have pickled it in alcohol. And you know that you can turn a cucumber into a pickle, right?
Yes.
But you can never turn a pickle back into a cucumber.
Is there a way to, because I have a lot of fat in my brain. I got a gravy brain. That's what it is. I'm gravying my brain up.
Lord help me.
Yeah, I love gravy.
Aaron just got back. Aaron, you got anything for Patrick?
Yeah, man.
Tell him how much you love him and his stitch work.
I met Patrick probably, it's been over a year now. It's about a year and a half ago is when I first started. I had seen some stuff that he'd done, and we got a bunch of mutual friends and posting his hats. And I just reached to him out on a whim and said, hey, man, can you make some hats for my company? Because I didn't know if he did that or not for anybody else. And yeah, he was. And I mean, man, I've seen your business grow tremendously in a year and a half, and got to build a friendship with him. And man, I called him and talked to him. And what either one of us calls and talks to each other is intended to be a 2 or 3 minute conversation. It normally turns into 45 minutes an hour talking about life and God and where we at and what season we're in. And he gives me advice, and I don't know if I give him any advice or not, but I definitely get good advice from him.
You've talked me off the ledge a time or two. I mean, it's just like when I confided in you that I was going through some stuff.
Yeah, that's right. I do remember that conversation.
Just life stuff. And you gave me some, I think the most important thing that I needed to hear that Aaron shared, and it was just stuff, I just felt like I was being bombarded with life, and it was just holding me down, and I couldn't stand up. And I think the most important thing that you shared with me was that you opened up and like, heck yeah, man, let me tell you what I just recently have been going through, and this, that, and the other. And it just makes you feel not alone.
Right.
Because as men, we will make ourselves feel like we're the only one on the island.
Isolation. Yep.
Yeah. And so I just needed to hear that I'm not alone.
That's right. And in that relationship, obviously he does all our hats and shirts and stuff here at work. And, man, every time I do hats, I can't keep them longer than about a day because everybody wants them.
Yeah.
Which is fine. I mean, it's great advertisement, but, if you want hats or shirts or hoodies or raincoats or whatever, call Georgia Hat Company. They'll definitely take care of you. They're fair, quick, honest, reliable, You know, I mean, I can't
unless they're waiting on you to put a fence up.
Then they'll hold out on your hats.
That's right.
It was like Miss Sandra's mad at me because her fence ain't up. I can't get my hat till I get her fence up.
I'm gonna give Aaron his hats when my fence gets up. But hey, it's off Aaron now, and now it's on Patrick because it still hasn't been painted.
That's right.
Oh, Lord.
Keep on. You're gonna be sleeping on the couch with the dogs.
Oh man, I know.
That's one of those conversations the cameras are cut off.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Okay, can we edit out that part about the fence not being painted?
I don't know how to edit.
He definitely don't.
I don't know nothing.
He knows
Patrick.
nothing about an edit button. He can't spell it.
You better go home and paint that fence.
Yeah.
Eat it. Eat it. How to eat stuff. Eat it. EDIT.
Lord help me.
Patrick, we've been in here about almost an hour and a half now.
What?
We got some good stuff, man. But we like to do at the very end, if you'll, 5 minutes or whatever the Lord puts on your heart, send it to a listener, whatever you want to say, and then if you'll pray us out, we'll go from there, man. But we've appreciated having you here. Aaron just got here, but he
Duty calls, man.
Yeah, he had to take his boy to school.
I understand.
Yeah. And we got Bruce back. And Jordan, did you have anything for Patrick? You've been sitting over there.
Yeah, you've been quiet.
But Jordan does basically run Clark Home Services.
Definitely does.
I was just soaking it in, man, because your story, other than the alcoholism, sounds a lot like mine. Like, as far as had a good home and, raised up right, and you never saw your parents fight and all that stuff. And then yet you still turned and you ran and you did your own thing and went crazy. That sounds a lot like what I had going on. So I was just soaking it in over here. But
very powerful.
And what John was trying to ask was for a word of encouragement.
Yeah.
Word of encouragement.
Yeah, that's what he wants out of you. In case you didn't get that.
Get through the gravy. He couldn't get it through all the thick gravy.
Eat it. I'll eat it that later. But yeah, give us a word of encouragement and then pray us out, and then we'll hit this outro and we'll call it a day, man. We appreciate you being here. And hey, y'all, Patrick Cullinan, Cullinan.
Man, you got it right.
Yes. Georgia Hat Co. on Facebook. He is an amazing guy, tremendous story. Like I said, it exudes the light of Christ.
Oh, yeah.
Like all the time. I've never seen you any different than you always act. So we appreciate that. And
Thank you.
whatever's on your heart, give it to him. Oh, sorry.
He's not just on website or anything. They have an actual, not a storefront, but an actual barn where they make all the stuff that you can come and
what's that
buy
address?
stuff.
678 Heggies Ridge Drive, Heggies, Heggies Ridge Drive, and that's in Appling off Louisville Road. And we don't have a storefront, but we're normally there at the barn. We'll say 10 to 4.
Somebody's there at 10. Patrick might not be.
Somebody might be there before 10, but it won't be Patrick.
It's actually really
We've
cool.
got your
barn.
name and your address, and then the only thing else we need is the last 4 of your Social Security.
Favorite pet's name?
That's right. Absolutely.
Mom's maiden name.
Yeah, so
But
just a quick word of encouragement, and just for somebody that's struggling or might just need a pick-me-up for the day, and, then pray us out.
All right. So you said 5 minutes.
No.
Whatever you
No.
want.
30,
man.
45 seconds, a minute, 2 minutes.
Yeah, I was going to say.
You know what?
Let me start the
TC
timer,
gets
man.
what he wants.
John.
TC gets what he
No,
wants.
I couldn't. No. So, if I could give any words of encouragement, it would be, if you are, it doesn't even have to be addiction, related or anything like that, is let yourself be vulnerable. That is one of the biggest reasons why I'm able to sit here today with the sobriety that I have and be the man that I've become, is because I allowed myself to be vulnerable. And I trusted others that, that had walked the walk. And it might not be, it's just like with talking to Jordan, he might not have an addiction issue, but we share a same common bond with, how we've grown up and, just chaos in our lives and this, that, and the other, and talk. One of the things that I've learned because of being raised not to share your personal struggles with anybody because other people don't need to know that. I have learned through this process that if I share something going on, just like when I was talking to Aaron that day, I could have very easily let my pride get in front of me and make Aaron think, oh, Patrick's got nothing wrong in his life. He's got the perfect life. But I was vulnerable. I opened up to Aaron, and I had just now, when I did that, given him 50% of it. I've left the steam off too. And then he comes back and can share something to me. And when I had that conversation, I remember it like it was yesterday. When I had that conversation, I was like that towel I was talking about that was so tight. And then I shared it with him. He shared some stuff with me. And then I felt much better. And I was like, man, I'm glad we had that conversation. So be vulnerable, open up to others, and surround yourself by men that you want to be like. That's why I surround myself by winners. Sometimes I lay my head down at night and feel like, maybe I've cheated my way through life, but it's because I do. I surround myself by good people that, help me every day. So I encourage. And the last thing that I'll leave you with is have hope. Have hope. There's every day's different. Nobody in this room can promise you that tomorrow will be better. But we can promise you that tomorrow will be different. Yeah. And there's a good chance it might be worse, but there's also a good chance it may be better. But no 2 days are the same.
That's right.
So, and then one of the last things is pick up that 1,000-pound phone. Once you pick up that phone and you make that call and you talk to somebody, it gets a lot easier from there. So that's some things that I would like to leave anybody with. And don't ever hesitate to reach out to me. If you got anything, whether it be addiction or just life on life's terms, reach out to me. And I'd love to talk to you. It'll help me just as much as it helps you. So I said one last thing, but here's the last thing. Rule 62. Don't take yourself too damn seriously. All right. Well, let's close this out. God, thank you. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to be amongst men that I respect and am honored to walk through this life with. Thank you for bringing this podcast forward to reach out to anyone that's listening and hopefully give them hope. I just want to thank you for everything that you have done for all of the men in this room, all the listeners that you continue to do. Please give anybody that's listening to this, that's struggling, give them hope, give them the encouragement to keep moving forward as we start moving into the holiday season, which is sometimes some of the hardest days for people. Please, wrap your loving, caring arms around them and just help them know that they're not alone. In Jesus' name, we give thanks. Amen.
Amen.
Thanks for listening, and remember, the smoke may settle, but the embers stay lit. This was the Gunpowder, Propane, and Jesus podcast, where stories ignite, spirits rise, and the fire never quits.